Good morning, School of Light. This is little Teddy. She's a mix between a blue heeler and an Australian Shepherd. She's so affectionate. We love you, baby, baby. We love you, baby, baby. And we are in First Chronicles, chapter 19, the battle against the Ammonites. In the course of time, Nahash, king of the Ammonites, died, and his son succeeded him as king. David thought, I will show kindness to Hanun, son of Nahash, because his father showed kindness to me. So David sent a delegation to express his sympathy to Hanun concerning his father. When David's men came to Hanun in the land of the Ammonites to express sympathy to him, the Ammonite nobles said to Hanun, Do you think David is honoring your father by sending men to you to express sympathy? Haven't his men come to you to explore and spy out the country and overthrow it? So Hanun seized David's men, shaved their heads, cut off their garments in the middle of the butt, and sent them away. When someone came and told David about the men, he sent messengers to meet them, for they were greatly humiliated. The king said, Stay at Jericho till your beards have grown, and then come back. When the Ammonites realized that they had become a stench in David's nostrils, Hanun and the Ammonites sent thousands of talents of silver to hire charioteers from Aram, Naharaim, Aram, Maacah, and Zobah. They hired 32,000 chariots and charioteers, as well as the king of Maacah with his troops, who came and camped near Medeba, while the Ammonites were mustered from their towns and moved out for battle. On hearing this, David sent Joab with his entire army of fighting men. The Ammonites came out and drew up in a battle formation at the entrance of their city, while the kings who had come were by themselves in the open country. Homemade coffee. Joab saw that there were battle lines in the front of him and behind him, so he selected some of the best troops in Israel and deployed them against the Arameans. He put the rest of the men under his command of Abishai, his brother, and they were deployed against the Ammonites. Joab said, if the Arameans are too strong for me, then you are to rescue me. But if the Arameans are too strong for you, then I will rescue you. Be strong and let us fight bravely for our people and for the cities of our God. The Lord will do what is good in his sight. Then Joab and the troops with him advanced to fight the Arameans, and they fled before him. When the Ammonites saw that the Arameans were fleeing, they too fled before his brother Abishai went inside the city, so Joab went back to Jerusalem. After the Arameans saw that they had been routed by Israel, they sent messengers and had Arameans brought from beyond the river, with Shophak, the commander of Hadadezer's army, leading them. When David was told of this, he gathered all of Israel and crossed the Jordan and advanced against them and formed his battle lines opposite them. David formed his lines to meet the Arameans in battle, and they fought against them, but they fled before Israel. And David killed 7,000 of their charioteers and 40,000 of their foot soldiers. He also killed Shophak, the commander of their army. When the vassals of Hadadezer saw that they had been defeated by Israel, they made peace with David and became subject to him. So the Arameans were not willing to help the Ammonites anymore. Wow. So that's some costly advice. David sent a delegation to express sympathy to a fellow leader, or in this case, his son, Hanun, son of Nahash. So he's going to show Hanun kindness. He sent a delegation to express sympathy for his father, and some bad advice told Hanun. Is that the way to pronounce it? Let me look. Yeah. Told Hanun, hey, David, these people here are probably spying out the land. Let's shave their beards, let's cut off the hole in their pants, and basically make disrespect, make subject to them, all kinds of horrible things, right? Ended up costing, instead of just saying thank you, here's an ounce of gold, my favorite shape of gold to David, thank you. He listened to his advisors and hired charioteers. I mean, it would have been just easier to accept the guy's sympathy. Accept the delegation that David sent and say thank you. How would that apply to our lives today? Well, advice. Maybe you're thinking about a life move or something, and you're getting advice from people who never done a life move. Or you're getting advice from people that are have never done it. They just say, well, I think, if you go down and live in this place and that place, and you're probably fine, and this and that, and apply for this and this. I mean, you gotta be careful who you take your advice from. And when you hear advice, make your own decision. I mean, I talk a lot about instinct, your gut, intuition, especially women having really in tune to intuition. Men can too, but not quite like women. And follow those things. In this case, the Ammonites went from, I guess, an independent nation to becoming David's subjects. Here it says when the vassals of Hadadezer saw that they had been defeated by Israel, they made peace with David, became subject to him. Seven minutes, 11 seconds into this. It's a short chapter. I hope that helps. If you want some Bible studies, please just reach out and contact me. They're for ages 4 through adult. They come in the mail. They have no postage cost to you, whether it's sending it to you or returning it to us. When we get it returned, BJ, our teacher, grades it, records it, and sends you out the next in its series. The advanced series can yield college credit, but the main thing is that you get into God's Word. So many people go to church, so many people do this, do that, but they never open the book themselves. They don't understand what's in this book themselves. You are called by God to be a disciple, and a disciple means a disciplined learner. If you're not reading the Word every day or pushing yourself, with discipline to learn this, then really are you a disciple or are you just a churchgoer?